Hey there! Welcome to Insomniac Live. I almost said Insomniac Games. It's Friday. It's Friday. We are at Insomniac Games.
There we are.
This is within Insomniac Games in the barrel of the former Clank conference room where we get to play video games. And this is our 3 times a week show where we play different video games and talk about it. And apparently people were hearing our audio even before we started. So, great.
Just the game audio.
Oh, cool. It's just game audio. Well, that's good. Corey tells me they weren't. My name is James Stevens. I'm the community director here at Insomniac. I'm here today with Jeff Weidner, who's one of our animators. We're going to be playing Assassin's Creed Origins, which is the new Assassin's Creed game. Came out, I guess, like 2-3 weeks ago. Or no, maybe was it
like
November?
a month and a half ago or something?
Is it a month and a half? Oh, okay.
I'm not sure. Sometime in October, I feel like.
I feel like a lot of people kind of slept on this game. It's like another, there are definitely some people playing it, but I feel like it was like, another Assassin's game.
Right.
I myself wasn't really that excited. I played it at E3 and it's going, okay, whatever. But I've really loved it.
Yeah, I've been really surprised I enjoyed the series in general and have played it through almost all of them. I wasn't sure what to expect with this one just because they took that year off between development and were really trying to nail it. And I picked it up sometime like mid-October or something, I think, and aside from a little initial confusion, I've really enjoyed it. It's been a blast to kind of explore this ancient Egypt setting and then find out some of the backstory of the assassins organization and whatnot.
Yeah, it's I think, so we've started off, we're a little bit into the game here. I'm, around level 15 or so, and we're just playing on my game. And so, one of the cool things is you have these missions, and, all the side quests feel pretty good. But your bird is kind of, I make a joke, it kind of feels like they stole the drone from the Tom Clancy games. But you use that to, hone in on stuff, and it's really great because... when you're playing missions and the game doesn't really set up, it feels like this game in particular doesn't really set up a path into, you need to have this path to go in and assassinate this person.
Right.
It's here's this building, there's guards everywhere, and there's a lot of opportunities and designed areas for you to get in, but it's really up to you to kind of scout it out and then approach it how you would like to approach it.
Yeah, I remember when I first started, they teach you the bird mechanic, and I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. But for whatever reason, it didn't register right away that was also how I could mark the enemies.
Yep.
So the first couple times I tried going in, I'm like, I have no idea where any of these guys are. I had to I think I had to look it up on the internet. I'm like, how do I find, how do I mark the enemies? And they're like, use the bird. And I'm like,
Yeah, I think the only other way is you have to. I think the only other way is you can pull your bow on them basically, and you can spot them through your bow, and that's the only other way to.
I think that was the problem too, because then you're exposing yourself, and I was like, this cannot be the way to do this. It has to be a better way.
Yeah, which it's kind of fun. You have a mystical bird that that marks all your enemies for you, but it's I don't know. Let's see if I can put subtitles on for everyone. There we go. Put subtitles on in case you can't hear it or hear it over us talking. Yeah, that definitely makes a huge difference. The bird, totally... And it lets them just give you these areas where they don't tell you anything. And you're like, okay, what's the best way to sneak through this palace? And it feels really good when you sneak into, this heavily guarded palace.
Yeah.
Kill, 2 people and get in and get out. And it's like, okay, that... Or even not even kill anyone, but the sneakier you can be, it's like, oh, that felt really good.
Yeah. I've gotten pretty deep into the game, and there are some points where they have these huge complexes, these huge Roman... complexes that are just filled with guards. It gets so satisfying to sneak around through there. I'm not usually a big stealth guy, but I've really enjoyed really taking my time. It's not uncommon for me to take an hour just to kind of stealth through an area and kill almost every guard, just so that I can then grab the 2 pieces of treasure that are in there. It's inconsequential reward, but I'm so happy to stealth through everything. It's fun.
Yeah. I had a mission where I had to. It was pretty simple mission early on, and I had to sneak in on. Somebody's being attacked by hippos. Oh shit.
Save them.
That doesn't. This is not good. Hippos are hard to deal with.
There's a ton of them.
And there's hippos and there's so we're gonna try and get on a boat to get over closer. There's also alligators and stuff, which are a pain. But like I did this whole mission where I fought these guys, and we're in the hippopotamus lair. Oh my god, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, this is really bad. This is really bad. I don't know how we're gonna do this. Okay, I guess we're just gonna try and fight our way through it.
Yeah.
Oh god,
no.
this is terrible. This is a bad idea. Kill the hippos around the island. Okay, and then you have this.
Oh.
I was trying to do my adrenaline move there.
Oh, there
you go. I got stuck between the two of them. Dude, this is like, this is, yeah. I'm just killing hippos all over the place. This is terrible. This is not a PETA endorsed channel. Oh, there's too many of them. There's too many of them.
Oh my gosh.
I've got this cool like fire scythe too.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I have one of mine is poison based, which has become my favorite weapon.
Which is also really fun to have like kind of these like mystically weapons. So I just killed. These are all the hippos I just killed. I feel a little bad about it, to be honest. All right, I'll get back to that story in a second. Let's see. I want to check in with the chat here. And Gamer Terria, thanks for the follow. Simi Javille, 1888, thank you for following. MXM Godin, thanks for the follow. Insomniac V3 says, my username is named after the company. I'm such a fanboy. Well, thanks for being a fanboy. Sheep from Poland says, ancient Egypt was a setting for Assassin's Creed I've wished for since the Ezio era. The sunlight looks amazing. I do think like playing in Egypt is really fun with like pyramids and kind of. Oh, now I have to escort. Oh, great. Okay, great. There's probably more hippos now. Yeah, I do think it's really fun. Like seeing the pyramid. The first time I saw the pyramids was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and getting the opportunity to kind of explore through them is pretty fun, I think.
Like even like shit like this where there's like, you know, pharaoh statues in the water and like, oh, we're gonna go right between these two statues and just kind of this like cool little. It's like, oh, we're just sitting on the boat, escort. All right, and now we get to have this conversation. You know how many like Grand Theft Auto open world games do sort of things where they stick you in a car so that you can have a conversation on your way to a mission.
Yeah,
like
it's a lot of fun. I mean, I've been really surprised and happy with it.
Spittle7 says, I'm still waiting for Ubisoft to do a feudal Japanese Assassin's Creed game. I think that's been like the rumor forever that that's one of their ace cards they're holding on to for a long time, or that setting is an ace card that they know they can use. Silent Tremor, remember when Assassin's Creed was more based in reality? What part of like using your DNA to like go back in time and assassinate people is reality? Is my question.
I'm not sure it was ever heavily based in reality.
Yeah, I mean, I think they try to always be authentic to the periods, and so like I feel like they've done a reasonably good job of being period authentic while kind of letting you just be like a superhero. Yeah, like a superhero assassin, basically.
I did find myself, like, once you take a look at the enormity of the map for this, I was like, obviously, for gaming purposes, Egypt has been shrunk down, but I've more than once wondered, like, are these cities, like, how they would have been in relation to each other, not distance-wise, of course, but just, like, in this time period. I don't know, it's kind of weird when you start thinking about, like, how accurate is this? Well, it's just a game. Like, don't worry about how accurate it is, but it's fun to think about sometimes.
It's more about giving you that fantasy of being in Egypt rather than necessarily giving you the reality of being in Egypt, right? Like exactly. It's not that we want to do an Egypt simulator.
Yeah, exactly right.
So you said you were playing the game since the beginning. You play like every Assassin's Creed game?
I think I skipped over like half of one. The first one, I started it and kind of got bored with it.
Right, like the first one, like I remember the same thing. Like I played, like you basically had like 3 cycles of the same thing, and I got like halfway through the second cycle, and I was like, and I put it down. I didn't play it, and then 2 was the one that really got me into Assassin's Creed.
Yeah. I remember reading like some of the preview articles talking about how they were changing up the combat and everything for it, and I felt like, well, that sounds interesting and worth giving it another shot. So yeah, from the second one on, I think I've pretty much played them all. I might have missed the Paris one, or played part of it.
Oh, that was Unity, right? I think.
Yeah, Unity. But other than that, I've gone through them all.
I hate these shield guys.
Yeah.
Stop chasing me! Ah! Oh god.
There you go.
There we go. Yeah, you have, like, if you've played a lot of Assassin's Creed games in the past, the first thing you have to do is like completely retrain your brain on the combat for this one.
Yeah, that was a big
Oh, was
thing.
I on fire? Here, I'm gonna hand it over and let you play for a little bit.
Right.
I guess I was on fire. Because like everything's on the triggers, like,
right,
it's, like, blocking, and then there's like easy low attacks and hard attacks and like shield breaks.
Okay.
So Amazing Spider-Man says, "I'm the reason hippos will go extinct one day." Lorek says hi. Hey Lorek, how's it going? Let's see. Radam, what? What Radam? No, that's I get that's Adam. So Adam Corleone's asking you, Jeff, do you feel guilty for having taken this prime stream spot from more deserving Insomniacs? Adam Corleone, if you want to come in here and sit down and play some Assassin's Creed, you can get in here right now and actually take the heat from the fans yourselves.
Where's my weapon? What am I? Oh, I'm unarmed.
Oh.
No, there we go.
Yeah, and then you're probably like, I'm playing this on PlayStation, man.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you? We are only playing on a regular Xbox One here because we only stream in 720.
Got it.
But at home I've been playing on Xbox One X, and it's beautiful on Xbox One X.
Can I not?
Let's see here. What else we got? Gravy Biscuits. With the Jack and Daxter games arriving on PS4 next week, we're wondering what would it take to get all the Ratchet and Clank games on PS4. Sony would need to
Oh, there we go.
Oh, you got to change arrows. So you're on the you're on the sleep darts right now.
Oh man. This is okay. I think
And then oh man.
Even worse.
I got the big guy. The big guys with the shields, the ones I always have to kill first because they murder me. It's actually the combat's actually difficult in this game. I never thought Assassin's Creed combat was difficult, and this actually has a bit of a challenge.
Yeah, this is a big change. It was definitely, I think the most. Let's see. There we go. Let's go swords. It was definitely the thing that I struggled with the most right out of the gate.
Yeah, it's very different. It's like it was like you have to just like wait. This is not normally I like tap X a lot. Yeah, and sorry not to finish the answer, Gravy Biscuits. Like if Sony decided to bring those games over, which we think would be awesome, but again, it's like one of those things where you're gonna be so sneaky, and then didn't work out.
Oh my goodness.
And then the left bumper is the shield if you want to hold your. Although I think you have two blades, so you're like shielding with a blade because I have a dual sword. You may not like my weapon setup at all. That may be the other problem.
Oh man. Okay, I'm struggling on this one.
We're gonna see how many times we die here on this fight.
I'm gonna change up your.
You're gonna change my weapons?
Yeah.
That's cool. You can see what I've got. I haven't done the best. That's a weird thing. Like the gear system doesn't. I don't think I'm far enough in that the gear has really mattered. I've just kind of taken whatever awesome bits and pieces I found.
Oops.
There you go, and then.
All right.
So I don't know. What do I have? A mace. I have heavy blunts. I gotta have a regular sword, don't I? Or did I sell them all? Whoops. You're gonna be like, did you sell all your regular swords? I might have.
Looks like you did.
I might have.
Okay. Well,
I've been using the shark fin mainly.
I'll give that a try.
Or I could try the bone cracker in its place.
I'll just try the shark fin.
It's been my ally. What's with the giants and Silent Tremor? There's just some big dudes with big shields, and you gotta be sneaky and take them out.
Yeah.
Remaster Resistance. Speaking of Xbox One X, do you think it's worth £500 for a bit of a graphics update? Because personally, I can't see why anyone would take that deal. It really depends on you and your setup. Like, if you have a really nice 4K TV, you may think it's totally worth it. Nice. Oh, those guys are too big to die in one hit. I love it. Like, you stealth attack him. Oh, he's not. He's almost dead, though. You only really have to break his shield. So if you hold on the right trigger, do the shield break. And then if you break his shield, you should be able to... Of course, when his little buddy comes over and slashes you while you're charging up your shield break.
Oh, there we go. Oh, this thing... Okay, this is...
There you go. He's down. He's down. Now you got one more guy with the shield. Oh, and if you do RB and RT, you can do the... There you go. Kill, 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 kill. See? Once you get going with this thing, it wrecks fools.
It's got some good power, but it's just tough to get used to it. It's got a long windup.
Yeah, I mean, I like my Xbox One X. I sold my Xbox One S to replace it, so it wasn't as expensive because I already had one, so it was just kind of an upgrade. I don't know. I like my games looking really nice on my... oh, there's a lot of dudes in here to kill, huh? You gotta eradicate all these guys? Brutal. Amazing Spider-Man said, I'm shocked the combat is more like Dark Souls and not Shadow of Mordor Arkham now. Yeah, it was, like I said, definitely a little bit different. But I think, in a good way.
Yeah, there's no more just holding your parry button or whatever and waiting for them to attack you.
Right. Gravy Biscuits, James, you see Jimbo left Florida State. Yes, I did see that Jimbo Fisher left Florida State this morning. I thought it was really funny because this morning we saw that he threw his Christmas tree out in Tallahassee, and he threw his Christmas tree out 24 days before Christmas, and it was kind of like, so you're leaving, huh? And then he resigned like an hour later. But it's like it's pretty special when you take your Christmas tree and throw it out morning of. The coaching carousel is very interesting. Spittle7, thank you for the follow. Sheep from Poland says, I usually play Assassin's Creed with my dad. He handles the combat. I handle the climbing and running and riddles. Teamwork is fun.
It's a nice combo.
Yeah, it's a good way to play it, for sure. Oh, one more looter right there. Adam is telling Corey to get in there and help us out. We're doing just fine, Adam. Thank you. Come in and help us yourself, Adam.
Yeah.
Let's see. Logan1194. Oh, hi, people. Oh, hi, Logan1194. Ratchet Extreme 6 says, when did development begin on Spider-Man? Sometime after Sunset Overdrive, basically. Gravy Biscuits said something definitely happened behind the scenes. You don't leave a top program after one bad year. I don't know. Jimbo's had a divorce and like a bunch of weird shit happened with Florida State. He's been antagonistic with them for a while, so the relationship was souring. Zemi, is this on Xbox One X? No, this is just a regular Xbox. It's not playing on One X. My One X is at home. See, Corey told you it was on Xbox One X. It's not. This is a regular, old school, original launch Xbox One. And it is just running at 720p, so you're not getting all those sweet Xbox One X visuals. See, look, there's a pyramid in the background. It's the coolest damn thing. So, Jeff, how did you get started as an animator? Like, what was your process in getting into animation and the video games industry?
Yeah, so I came out of college. I was an English major and worked in marketing for about 10 years, I think, and never really loved it, but I'd always liked animation. And eventually, after talking with my wife and everything, we decided I could go back to school. I was still working full-time, but found an online program that taught animation, so I went through that. Came out and just started working at various gigs and whatnot. Oh, I gotta carry this guy. Like my first gig was with Technicolor. Had a oh shit. Wrong trigger button.
Put him on the horse. No, slash the horse.
Just kill the horse. Anyways, my first gig was with Technicolor up here in Burbank. They had a studio that did cinematic stuff for games and worked on like a Ben 10 Alien Force and a couple other things, and then did some stuff in film and commercials, and then was working at Sony down in San Diego doing other game things, and then made my way here.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's been a heck of a journey.
Yeah, no kidding. It's quite the career transition too. Like
it was a big change, but well worth it. Much more. It's much more fun to be an animator than it is to be a marketer. Nothing against marketing. That's just my thing.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's like you get to just like make cool stuff and do that every day, which is great. And have you done? Now, were you always doing? I mean, you did more commercial stuff. What do you prefer? A lot of people in the chat will probably ask. Do you prefer doing like cinematic stuff? Do you like doing gameplay animation? Like, what's your?
This has actually been the first time I've done gameplay animation. This is the first time I've been focused on it. I'd done a little bit before this for a game. Actually, when I was back at Technicolor, they had done some gameplay stuff for a game called Saboteur.
Sure.
From Pandemic.
It was the black and white, or had like a lot of black and white, like World War II, right?
Yeah. So I had done a little bit of stuff for that, but most of my experience had been in cinematics. Which are, it's a lot of fun to do that, but I've actually really enjoyed the challenge of, I think I'm done with this mission now. I had really enjoyed the challenge of like figuring out gameplay and, the kind of things you need to do, and I always like to do these guys. How it all needs to fit into the engine and that sort of thing.
It's over there. Yeah, it's right there, hiding behind that building.
To show up in the overhead.
Sheep from Poland, how do you guys feel about some of the more disturbing Ratchet and Clank fan art? Do you prefer to ignore it or find it weirdly intriguing?
Never even felt compelled to search it out.
I just always warn everyone here that if you're going to search Ratchet and Clank, make sure Safe Search is on.
All right, good to know.
Because it's disturbing. Yeah, some people might be disturbed by it. Oh, you're right into a hideout. You may accidentally end up in a fight if you're not careful.
I'll pass this by.
And Corey in the chat said we only store them in our short-term memory, otherwise we'd have nightmares. That's right. Let's see. Gary Biscuit says he misses Pandemic. Adam is asking you, what's been the biggest change for you going from cinematics to gameplay?
Working with you, Adam. No, I'm kidding. I thought that was him. There's just, it's, cinematics, everything, it's very laid out and specific. You're working on a scene, you're working on a shot within a scene. There is freedom to do certain things, but you're basically just animating as needed for that cinematic. And gameplay, there's a lot more opportunity to, create some of the mechanics, create some of the pieces that you want to create, then, make the character do the things that you want to do, as long as it fits within the design of the game, so to speak. It's a big change, but it's been a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed it.
So I guess we can pick a new quest. If you're just tuning in, this is Insomniac Live, our game where various Insomniacs play all sorts of different video games, whether we made them or other people made them. And today we're enjoying Assassin's Creed Origin, which comes to us from Ubisoft. I think Ubi Montreal?
I think that's right.
Probably should have double-checked that, but I'm 99% sure. I know sometimes they have, there's so many studios that work on these and so many people that make these games, it can get a little confusing. But I think Ubi Montreal is the lead on this one and in general on Assassin's Creed. And I'm here with Jeff Weidner, who's one of our animators here at Insomniac Games, who's currently working on Spider-Man, as most people here at Insomniac are. But we're just talking about our love of Assassin's Creed, playing video games in general, Jeff's career, all sorts of good stuff. Can't answer too many of those Spider-Man questions just yet.
There we go.
Does somebody else things in a game when you're following it? I don't know what you mean, Javik. Your question doesn't make sense to me. I'm sorry. And Headshot18, thank you for following us here on Twitch. make sure you click that follow button. We have lots of good shows. Next week's going to be a fun one. Corey is going to be hosting on Monday as we play Rocket League, which will be kind of fun and exciting. And we've got some of the Rocket League players in the office.
Cool.
I had not played much Rocket League, and we were messing around with it yesterday because we were doing some tests in here. And I'm looking forward to watching people that are better than I play it. We get to kill a tax collector.
Yes.
Everyone loves that.
Really,
Sorry, IRS. I didn't mean it. Please don't audit me. All
right. Let's go find this guy.
Logan1194. There are a finite number of gameplay animations that can be implemented in a game. Absolutely.
Yeah. There's definitely a finite number. Where that number is, I couldn't even tell you. I feel like a lot of times stuff gets plugged in and then sometimes some of it comes out just because of design changes or just the needs change for what they're trying to accomplish. And, so I don't know that we've hit that number, but I couldn't speak definitively about it either because, like I said, this is the first time I've done it.
And even at some level, like just the process of creating them adds up, right? So you have most games have some limited amount of resources that they can use. So you can't just unless you have infinite money and infinite animators and infinite time, you can only create so many. And then the other aspect, and I don't think it's big now as it was back in the day, but for instance, like the Groovatron in Ratchet and Clank was something that couldn't happen because, you totally gonna I love that you just sneak in through the fence and like, dude, that was baller. There's like this camp, there's dudes and like I love the. Oh no! Here, let me fix this. This is not my home Xbox, so it sometimes causes weird issues where like. I don't know. See, we're signed in. Yeah, I don't know. Crazy. I don't even think you need the body.
No,
I don't know why it but it drops in, and I gotta fix that at some point.
Do we have any insight on The Last of Us 2? Nope.
No, don't have any Tilo 2 insight, though. Friends with Naughty Dog people all the time. Silent Charm, we need to get all y'all affiliate status. We actually are. We just haven't turned certain things on. So stay tuned for some of that stuff. I don't know what I was talking about before that. Oh, I was talking about the stories in this. I had this whole mission where it was like, it wasn't a complex mission, but I had to like rescue someone out of a jail cell in the middle. It was like one of the like jail cells in the middle. And so I like snuck over and I scouted it all out and I found the building way to climb in. And I had to kill the commander too. And so it's like I noticed where the commander was, and I managed to like sneak in and kill like one guy on a roof, kill the commander when he went into his quarters, which caused some racket, but I managed to hide, and the guy didn't notice. I like picked the commander up and put him in his bed. Yeah, so the guy came in, didn't notice anything was wrong, left, and then snuck around and killed the guy, put the dude over my shoulder, and like then was kind of kiting my way out around the edge, and I saw like there's an entrance, and I was like, okay, cool. And so I killed the guard watching the entrance, and I threw the guy over my shoulder and walked out and started whistling for my horse. And then I realized that I was at the docks, not out on the street, and I was like, oh, fuck it. So I just threw him on a boat, stole a boat, and like sailed away. And it was just like this awesome moment where I knew none of that was going to happen. I didn't even realize the river. I hadn't paid attention to the river. I was just looking for the guys, and I ended up like stealing a boat instead of riding my horse. And I was just like, that was a really fun, kind of cool moment because I didn't expect any of it to happen.
Yeah.
And it could have happened completely differently for someone else.
Have you noticed if you jump into any lake or anything and start swimming, like a dude will always come over with his boat to you
and try to let you out?
Yeah, well, you get on and you can borrow it, so it's just a way for you to not have to swim across
the thing. Yeah, like don't swim with the crocodiles.
Yeah. I don't know if you've seen any of these.
No, I have not seen any of these quests yet.
These are little puzzles. I don't know how many of these there are, but you line up the stars, and I think if you do them all, there's a reward at the end that's hidden beneath one of the other places.
Oh, I see. So then you find the stars in the sky. That looks kind of like it. Kind of. There it is. Yeah. Wow, that really got the controller vibrating.
Yeah. It really liked it.
Yeah, that's the divine line. Okay, that's kind of cool. Interesting. Yeah, I hadn't seen one of those quests yet. As soon as you see a bunch of like pillars out in the middle of a desert in a clearing, you're like, well, what is this all about?
Right. Random tombs to explore.
I know Remaster Resistance said something about like, is it time for Resistance questions? And I'm like, you asking if it's time for Resistance questions has never stopped you before. So, have at it, man. The answers haven't changed from Wednesday.
Let's see, what else do we got?
Gravy Biscuits. I just got Dragon's Dogma in the mail today for PS4, one of my mini Black Friday purchases. Did you have any fun Black Friday? Were there any games that you grabbed you hadn't played yet? Or
I picked up a copy of Wolfenstein 2.
Yeah.
They were selling that for like
$25, yeah.
$25, yeah. So I grabbed that. Other than that, I didn't really do much with Black Friday or Cyber Monday this year.
I do have a bunch of quests to pick up if you go to the quest map too, that you can just go straight. I think I have.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
you have a bunch of like level 16 quests, so you can go straight to whichever one.
Let's just jump on that one.
Yeah, I did. Nier was the one that I hadn't played. That I grabbed like a $25 or $30 copy of.
I played that. That's an interesting one. I'd be interested in hearing your opinion on it.
Yeah, a lot of people have raved about it. Ted really likes it, and has said it's one of his favorite games this year. So, although Ted also he came out of his office after Thanksgiving. He's like, "Hey, have you been playing Assassin's Creed?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "I really like it." He's like, "Yeah, I really liked it too." So, so if that tells you something, Ted's been playing this game recently too, and really enjoyed it. It wasn't even on our stream schedule originally. Really, like we had a lot of stuff to schedule in October, and then I've been playing it at home. I was like, "Yeah, I really want to play this because it's so good. Like, I just want to like try and give it love and spread the word because I really, really was surprised how much I liked it." I've always liked the Assassin's Creed games. I played a bunch of them, but I just was I was a little lukewarm, like it hadn't grabbed me yet. And then finally playing it, was like, oh man, this is actually so good. I think trying to get the combat down at E3 didn't really work well.
Oh, right.
And so it was like, until I had like a couple hours of getting into it, it was like, oh, now I get it. But it didn't but at E3 it was kind of a tough place to try and like, wait, this doesn't play like Assassin's Creed. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I imagine E3 would be a tough place to be introduced to the changes here.
Yeah.
Because you just don't have the time to like really dig into it. I don't know. I always feel under pressure when I'm like demoing a game at somebody's booth and like you feel like everybody else is lined up behind you and they're just like, come on, hurry up.
Yeah, and then you're like dying over and over. And it's terrible. Corey asked everyone in the chat. He's in a group text with some friends, and one of them called Gran Turismo. Should we block him from the group text? I say no.
That seems unnecessarily harsh.
Yeah, I mean, like, certainly it would not count if you were trying on, like, Jeopardy or Wheel of Fortune. Like, that would be counted as an incorrect response. But it's not something where they would, like, throw you off the show. They would just deduct points from you or pass it along to the next person. So that's my official answer.
I gotta find some archers here.
It is decided. Gravy Biscuits asked where Marcus, Colin, Moriarty, and I went to lunch yesterday. We went to a fun little pub in North Hollywood. It was great. We drank some beer at lunch, which is always fun, and had some good hangout time. So that was where we went. It's Village Pub or something. It's on Lancashire in North Hollywood. It's good. I recommend. They have a good burger. They have really good French fries. They have lots of dipping sauces, and dipping sauces are the most important thing. That's why Chick-fil-A is great. If you have like a large variety of dipping sauces. Anyone have a favorite Chick-fil-A dipping sauce? Oh, nice. I do have like the sniper bow though.
Yeah.
The sniper bow is key.
It is. It's my go-to.
Yeah, when you just headshot fools, it's like, yeah, it feels good. Although only having like 4 arrows is totally the balancing mechanism. Like,
yeah, that's definitely one of the things that I upgraded first was the quiver to.
Like, I need as many sniper bolts as I possibly can have.
Yep.
because I just want to not even fight these guys. I just want to shoot them all from a distance.
I think I got all those dudes there.
Logan1194, are you talking about in this game? What about awkward door opening animations? Or are we talking about a different game? I can't answer. Jeff, did you watch the Avengers trailer this week?
I did.
Okay,
it looks
good.
really good.
You know, I had Lindsay and Mike here on Wednesday, and neither of them. Now, 240 million people watched that trailer in the first 24 hours, but they were not.
Nuts.
Maybe they watched it afterwards. They had plenty of time after the show. They still had like 18 hours. But most watched movie trailer in the first 24 hours ever.
Yeah, those are crazy numbers.
What do you think?
I think that it looked really good. I'm looking forward to it.
Was there anything in it that like especially got you jazzed?
I feel like just knowing that, you know, it's the culmination of this first, I don't know, it's not a phase, but I guess, you know, this first set of...
It's like the first giant cycle. Like,
yeah.
I mean, how long did Iron Man? 10 years ago? Like
something like that, yeah.
So it's like 10 or 12 years of like Marvel movies coming to like this ultimate conclusion.
Right. Which, you know, and I guess I'm curious to see, you know, who's gonna make it through.
A lot of actors' contracts are expiring.
Exactly, yeah. I hear, you know, I read a lot of comments of people like, oh, they're not gonna kill anybody. I'm like, I don't think I would be so sure about that. It wouldn't surprise me at all if they knocked off a couple of these guys just for that reason alone. Contracts are up, and you know, these guys.
Well, no one ever really dies in a comic.
That's true.
Which, like, I will say, like, one of my few complaints was is it The Last Avengers, or was it Civil War, or it's Captain America Civil War? When War Machine goes down, and it was like, oh, he's dead. And there's like, no, he didn't actually die.
Yeah,
like, that was like one of my few like complaints. Just like, oh, like I actually felt something when I thought he was dead, and then when he wasn't, I was like, oh, you could have killed him. You should have killed him.
Yeah, that was kind of a bummer. He just wound up
paralyzed,
slightly crippled, and then
I was that bummed me out because I was like, oh wow, they killed someone. That felt like a big deal.
But it wasn't even permanent.
No, which. Oh, that's just the guardian of the archers. So you can even just sneak away from him because he's going to look where you were.
Yeah.
And he's not even a target.
I'm gonna kill him anyways.
All right.
Get him! Ah, come on.
Corvinus Reaper says the Predator bow is so awesome. Yes, it is. Chat, I don't know. Do you guys have any thoughts about the Avengers trailer? I will say. I will say I love just the Guardians at the end is.
Yeah, that was a fun
Guardians
moment.
Are like, and it's just like a little thing to be like, the Guardians are in this, but
yeah,
that's one of my favorite things. And then I think they're to your right. I saw them. I saw the two archers because they had little 2 yellow arrows on their heads.
Oh, how have I been missing that?
There they are.
There
they are. Yeah. And then I think no, I don't hate War Machine. I just was sad. Like I was like, oh, I thought he was dead for a minute, and I was really sad about that. And then when he was alive, I was kind of relieved, but at the same time, I was like, oh, like I kind of liked it better when it had more emotional. The moment was more emotional to me if I thought he was down.
Yeah, there's you know, that's a sense of there actually being stakes to these movies, as opposed to if you know everybody's safe, then there's not really any kind of
like we know, because I mean, like we know Spider-Man's safe, and we know the Guardians are safe.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's stuff like that where, you know, those characters we know you can't really have a scary moment for them. Whereas a lot of the actors whose contracts are expired we can have very scary moments.
Exactly.
Which is kind of the thrilling part of it. And I think that's always like, especially when like a TV show or something like kind of fakes you out. Like there's been shows that have like announced a extension of a contract for a character that they then kill like right afterwards, and everyone's like, what? And they're like, yeah, that was fake. We were just trying to throw you off. Yeah. And I'm like, I love red herrings. I love red herrings. Don't trust everything you see from us. You never know. You never know if we're trying to mess with you, because I love red herrings. I love keeping people guessing. Like even Force Awakens, like the whole like played Finn up as the Jedi essentially in all the marketing, and that was not the case. Which, you know, some people were upset about even too.
Are you looking forward to The Last Jedi?
Oh, yes, very much. Very, very much.
I kind of feel like I'm going in this time knowing less than any of the, you know, more recent movies that have come out
They've done a better job, I think. I know they've done a better job of keeping things under wrap, though. It's starting from
Right.
what I managed to stay clear of it this time. Like, I think with Force Awakens, it was so hard. You were so excited not to just read everything.
Right.
Whereas now, like, they've done a better job of clamping down on the leaks, like eliminating the leak sources. Everything apparently is getting out there now because, things like not early copies of novelizations and all that stuff are leaking out. So I'm trying to be very careful about not accidentally getting spoiled, but I'm in that same boat. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen like 4 or 5 minutes of like a 2.5 hour movie, and so there's so much stuff in there, and I kind of have some ideas and some guesses about what I think is going to happen, but I really feel like I'm going in pretty blind, which I'm really excited about. I'm really, really stoked.
Do we not have
Well, and Javik says it was ironic at the same time because War Machine died in the comics, which is why I thought he was dead there, and I thought it was really emotional about it. Oh, and the costume. That was the other thing from the trailer. Spider-Man's costume.
Oh, right.
That is a good suit. I'm stoked to see him in that suit. It's very, very cool.
Yeah. And have you had a chance to see Thor Ragnarok, since we're on a movie kick at this point?
I did see Thor Ragnarok. Did you?
I did, yeah.
What did you think?
I liked it a lot.
Me too.
I thought it was a nice improvement over some of the previous Thor movies, which
It's the best Thor movie, hands down.
felt like they tried to take him really seriously
Yep.
in the last two and the first two movies, and this one felt like they finally realized, like, the idea of a Norse god is kind of silly, and Chris Hemsworth has some really nice comedic chops. Let's take advantage of it.
Yeah, he's so charismatic, and I think there was like this. See, like, actually, really, the first movie. My favorite part of the first movie was always like Thor, when Thor was like on Earth, and kind of this fish out of water, and playing that. Really honestly, fish out of water. Like, I always thought that was like that was what I loved. That was like my favorite part of that movie was him on Earth. Thor in Asgard, like you said, was always just like overly serious, like And the second movie was a lot of that. But I kind of love how they like sort of did this like transplant. They like took out old Asgard and like now they're into so Asgard is just Galactic Marvel universe. Well, the Galactic Marvel universe is the Guardians universe that James Gunn has created, and like we're gonna transplant that out and put the Guardians space universe into Thor's galactic world, and it's like everything kind of clicked together, and that whole movie just works so well for me, and I really, really liked it. It was one of my favorite, like I said, probably like a top. There's so many good Marvel movies, but I think like a top half Marvel movie for me. It was really fun. Javik, what did you think of Justice League? I didn't see it. I'll probably see it at some point, but I just haven't had time. I haven't seen Coco yet either. That's another one on my list.
Yeah, I'd love to see it. I haven't had a chance yet.
It's like Thanksgiving was busy. Maybe a lot of times I would have seen a movie over Thanksgiving, but it didn't happen this year. And I love when you can sneak up on someone.
Yeah. I think this is always my favorite part of an Assassin's Creed game, is just
using like the assassin blade. And
trying to sneak around as much as you can and just knife everybody in the back.
Oh, and he's in the... Nice, and he's in the tent. The real quick... well, you don't have to talk more about Star Wars. I could talk about Star Wars all day.
Who is Snoke?
Yep, who is Snoke? Because he is the youngling from Episode 3, or the Stormtrooper hit his head in Episode 4. Yeah, I don't think either.
Yeah, I'm going to say neither.
So Christmas break coming up.
Cannot wait.
Yeah? Yeah? Excited?
Looking forward to it.
I'm excited. Any big plans? I've told people before on the show, Insomniac shuts down for almost 3 full weeks. I think a day shy of 3 full weeks. So 20 days off. 20 straight days. So nobody here, no one at work emailing you, nothing. Just knowing, that's the best part. It's not like you're taking 3 weeks off and people are here and you're worried about what they're doing.
Right.
Nobody's here. Maybe a few people are doing a few little things that they need to do for themselves, but no one's dependent on you. No one needs anything from you.
Yeah.
So what's your plan for the break? You got anything fun planned? Got
Yeah,
any
my
games
wife
you
and I are going to take our kids to Utah to go skiing,
nice.
snowboarding, I should say. There's a resort out there called Bryan Head that used to go to when I was in high school, and it's not a huge place, but it's just big enough for when you're younger and don't necessarily need like the size of a Mammoth Mountain kind of place,
right.
which is a huge ski resort here in Southern California for anybody who's not familiar with it. But yeah, it's just a really nice small place, not super expensive either, which makes it nice when you're a family kind of thing. And so yeah, we'll go there after Christmas and be there until New Year's Eve.
Oh, nice.
So
a good amount of skiing time then.
Yeah, that's the plan. We'll see how that kind of all shakes out, but.
How old are your kids?
12, almost 13, and 10.
So definitely at the point where they can start to really enjoy skiing and stuff.
Yeah, we just got them into snowboarding last year, and we actually went out there last year as well, and they love it, and it's fun. It's fun to get out on the mountain with them, and they're about the age when I started. I was skiing back then. There were no snowboards, but it's been a fun time.
That's awesome. That sounds really good.
Yeah. What about you?
I'm going to the South Pacific for 3 weeks.
Really?
So, yeah.
Where in the South Pacific?
Australia, New Zealand, Fiji,
Whoa.
Vanuatu.
All over the place.
Yeah, it's going to be a crazy few weeks. So, should be nice. I kind of wish... I actually am taking a few days off when we come back. I won't be here for the first week.
Oh, okay.
So I have a slightly even longer break. So I have a few days at home, enough time to go see Last Jedi a couple times, and then fly out to Australia and go deal with that. So
very cool.
Yeah, it should be really cool. Hopefully very relaxing. There's the tax collector, though he looks like he's got guards.
Yeah.
As all good tax collectors in a video game should have.
Right. I guess everybody's out to get them.
Yeah, probably. And I think video game wise, for me, it's gonna be, I don't know. I have to figure out what I can take with me, and maybe some 3DS stuff. I'm finally playing some stuff like Pokemon Moon and Sun, which I never really got super into.
Oh, cool.
Now play, but I may also I still have plenty more moons to collect in Mario, and there's some temptation to maybe get Skyrim on the Switch and just try and get through Skyrim again.
Nice. Oh, dude.
Oh, well. We might still be able to sneak up.
Oh. Yoink.
Oh, dude, that's amazing.
No, I don't want this.
I love it when you just sneak up. That's so good. Let's see.
Oh, man, those...
Remaster Resistance, man. The trolley questions. What's everyone's favorite Star Wars Christmas special? Hit RB and right trigger at the same time to do the Oh! I think you got the quest completion in first, though.
Yeah. You want another shot
Yeah,
at it?
I'll play to give you some, give you a little break. You've been driving us for quite a while. It's Akon just followed. Thank you for that. And Samori15, thanks for hosting us. That's amazing. Have you ever seen the Star Wars Christmas special?
I probably did when I was a kid.
Yeah.
When it actually was on TV.
Yeah.
And, dating myself a bit.
No, not at all. Hopefully you blacked it out too at this point.
Yeah, I have a vague memory of the actual Boba Fett cartoon that introduced the character, and not much else. So.
Yeah, it's not very good. Oh no, we have a camel riding. Yeah, right on. But I do have it. I do have a copy of it.
Really.
That is, yeah, and
one
it's
of the few that exist, I suppose.
Well, they're all bootlegs,
Yeah.
at this point, because George Lucas tried to track it down and never got a release. But some people did record it on television if they were rich enough at the time to own a VHS recorder in 1978. So there were still some copies of it floating around. I feel like I should be able to follow the road here, but I don't know why.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. There it goes. You can pull down A. It's one of my favorite things, like that. Because there are some times where this is much more wide open, and it's like, okay, I have to go to this place, but I don't really want to ride the horse there. It's like time to check your phone, go get a drink, make a sandwich while you're riding to the next objective if you don't fast travel or can't.
Yeah,
fast
especially
travel.
when they're 1,000 plus meters, and then you just know it's going to be a long trip.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like I would say it's a holiday tradition to watch it, but it isn't. It's not very good, but it is an interesting piece of history. It's like weird.
It is.
There's a reason that George Lucas wants that thing destroyed.
Right.
Because it's bad. My favorite moment is there's a moment in the Millennium Falcon cockpit where there were two, like, they had already started ripping the sets apart when they decided to do the special, and so they had to take like the bucket chairs out of George Lucas's van and put them in the Falcon, so they had chairs to sit on. But they didn't bolt them down or anything. So at one point, like, Han reaches over and hits Chewie or something, and Chewie wobbles like this, and then is kind of sitting to the side the rest of the little bit, and you're just like, how cheap? It was all one shot. Lucas just knocking this thing out. Nobody wanted to be there for it, I'm sure. And they're like, what is this, George? Carrie Fisher sings.
Yeah. I read a super interesting article, maybe a year ago, that was about the Christmas special and just the production of it and what a crazy experience it was. The plans that they had that had to get canceled and how this kind of all came together the way it did and everything. I don't even remember what site it was on though, but if anybody finds it and wants to read it, it's pretty cool. It's pretty fun to read about that kind of stuff.
Sheep from Poland says, is there any actor you'd love to give a voice cameo to in Ratchet and Clank or any other game? And I'll even tie that over to you. Is there any voice actor you'd love to be able to animate to?
Man, that's a good question. I could pull out the easy answer. And when I was in school, we had to pull some voice clips from film and create a new performance. And one of my favorite films in general, but one of the performances that I did wind up choosing came from Miller's Crossing, Coen Brothers film, and what's his name? John Polidoro plays one of the mob. He's the Italian mob boss to Albert Finney's Irish boss, and he's got a moment in the beginning of the film where he talks about respect and does some really cool stuff that I thought was a really cool clip, and I picked that. I don't know. So many actors do so many amazing performances. It would be hard to pick one. I suppose if you were to force me, Alan Tudyk might be really cool. And he does so much voice work. It's kind of crazy to realize the characters that he has voiced, and you're like, I had no clue that he did. I knew he did King Candy, but it's he goes from King Candy to now I'm not going to be able to pull the name of the droid from Rogue One out of my head. Yeah, K2SO.
Nope. I only know that because I'm such a Star Wars fan. I'm such a nerd.
I like to call myself one as well, but I just
it's hard now. They're introducing so many new characters and droids and stuff. It's hard to keep up. When I was a kid, I probably could have named every single alien in the cantina. I couldn't do that. I have no idea. There's probably a ton of named characters inside the Maz's castle, and I have no idea what all their names are.
Exactly.
It's it had to be they had to get a physical card from the card game or something, and that was how I could do it. I did like him quite a bit though as K2S. So Tudyk killed in that. It was great.
Something about the camel's animation seems silly. You know what? Honestly, I would be willing to bet that whatever animator had it has probably never had to animate a camel, because that's just not.
Would you try mocap a camel?
Probably not.
I guess you probably couldn't get enough room for them to run really well.
Yeah, that would be a problem.
Get them running inside a volume and
More than likely, you just go to a zoo and try and find reference footage online. But yeah, I just can't think of too many other opportunities that people would have had to animate camels. So and quadrupeds are just hard to begin with. Quadrupeds are not super big, but they're a pretty sizable challenge to animate well.
That makes sense. Dogs, cats, everything.
Yeah.
And if you don't have a lot of that mocap data, then trying to keyframe the whole thing.
Keyframing that whole performance, and then, especially in a game, quadrupeds cause some interesting challenges because blending between clips, straight running, turning, and all that sort of stuff.
This is kind of sorry, were you in the shower, man? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Whoa.
Yeah. But quadrupeds are kind of tough in games because you just can't get the them to blend nicely between their motions a lot of times. So
That's interesting. Is there what are sort of some of those other pitfalls when you're animating that like quadrupeds are tough? Are there any other things that strike out as particularly difficult?
For me, I find subtleties are more difficult than broad motions. Anything that's big and broad, and whether it's comical or action or whatever, it tends to feel a lot easier to get that working and feeling good. Whereas subtleties, it can be really tough to just to animate a really subtle face performance. Sometimes is extraordinarily hard because
right.
the tiny amounts of motion that you want in there often don't read as well as you want them to, and it's just a really...
How does that tie into when you have to capture, when you actually, I know because you have a lot of facial capture.
Sure.
So how does that, is that just trying to get that to get the in-game model and rig to match what you're seeing out of that, and trying to, I know you have some base data there, but is that where the trickiness comes in, or is it?
My experience on face tracking and mocap data has been it captures a lot of that really well, and the trick usually becomes trying to separate some of that from just the natural noise that happens when you're capturing, especially if they're running around on stage and you're capturing face at the same time as they're doing their motions. You'll get a lot of just kind of extra noise from their body bouncing around. The camera's maybe picking up some motion, and then you want to make sure that you're using the vidref, the video reference that was shot, closely, so that you're not eliminating some of that stuff that could easily get lost when the data gets on the model. It can easily get lost as just noise, but you don't want to kill some of those really nice subtle movements.
That's interesting.
It's the best tip for studying animation.
Yep, it's from Javik 12.
Practice. If you're studying, lots of practice, and show your work to as many people as you can get to look at it, and always remain open to critique, because that's a huge part of the industry. No matter where you are, everybody's got an opinion, and more often than not, it's super helpful when somebody can take a look at it and point out something that you're not seeing just because you're so close to it. You've worked on a piece for a day, 2 days, maybe 3 days, whatever, and you get used to seeing it animated in a certain way, and somebody else comes in with a fresh take and can be like, hey man, I think this is a little bit off in the weight or the timing or whatever. So that kind of stuff is ongoing and constant in our sector of the industry, and getting used to just being able to take that critique, all the time. If you were to learn game developing again, how would you do it? I'm still learning. I think that's one of the cool things I like about animation. I'm still learning about animation. I'm still particularly learning about game development. Insomniac is the first time I've been on the inside of a developer. All my other jobs in the industry, in the game industry anyways, have been for service providers. So, I did cinematics down at Sony in San Diego, and they do a lot of cinematic work, but we weren't developers ourselves. We were contractors essentially for the studios that
needed the help or whatever.
Yeah, that needed the help. And so, I'm still learning about game development. I think I love that about the industry in general. There's just, every project brings new things, it seems like, new challenges, new things to learn about.
I just died.
It happens.
It was very sheepish. I thought I had 2 full health bars, but I think I let myself get surrounded.
It does seem like, and maybe, I don't know, maybe I've just gotten deeper into it, but it seems very easy to die. I feel like, and maybe part of it is your weapon has such a big wind-up. I feel like the combat's more of a challenge with that one.
Yeah, it may be going for that slow big. Oh my gosh, do I have to redo the whole thing?
Oh man,
I killed so many dudes though. Oh no, we're starting right at this point.
Okay, cool.
I was like, oh my gosh, no, can't do it again. Yeah, but it kills guys so fast. It's just like
It does, yeah. That's the benefit of it. I mean, you've got a huge windup. But
man, you get hit though, and it's like, and this guy's level 18, which I think maybe we are. I know we're 17. I do like how in escort missions in this game, if your ally gets injured, they just fall down for a little while,
right?
And then they're back.
They're taking a nap.
Yeah, it's like, okay, at least, but I just like that you can't fail on that because that's always like the worst thing. Like, oh, I got separated for a little bit, and
yeah,
like
that is the worst aspect of escort missions and stuff. It's man,
I'm giving it to you. You get to die a little bit. How big is Insomniac Games? Says Sonori 15. Like around 250 people, I think. Maybe a little more. Split between both coasts, somewhere in that ballpark though. Like 200-ish here, a little over 200 here, another 40 or 50 in North Carolina. Cornelius Reaper says, "Don't worry, James. I died on this exact same part." Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of dudes trying to kill you. Remastered Resistance wonders when we're streaming Resistance 3 again. It's next Friday. So next week we've got Rocket League at the normal time on Monday. We have a special time on Wednesday where we're going to take the Howlin' Rays Challenge.
Oh wow, what's that?
So we're going to eat extremely spicy Nashville hot chicken.
Nice.
It's going to be painful. I'm going to be suffering, along with several other people that have chosen to do it, including the one and only Swole Adam will be here.
Oh boy.
So look forward to seeing him suffer. Edgar, who you guys know, was going to be here.
Oh man.
So it's going to be tough. Oh, you do have a special, so.
Oh, come on. Brutal.
Yeah, this has killed us several times. So that's gonna be fun. That's gonna happen. Corey, did we say noon? I think it's noon, right? Noon next Wednesday.
We don't have it locked down yet.
We don't have it locked down. Probably around noon. It'll be on the schedule when we post it on Twitch, but it will be an earlier episode because the chicken will be arriving earlier. Thus, we have to eat the chicken while it's at least semi-warm. But there's plenty of heat contained within the chicken, and I think there's gonna be a lot of suffering, and I apologize to the men's restroom on the 5th floor. It's gonna be problematic. Oh, you have a copper sword now. There you go. Now you can fight with something more your speed. And then Friday we do Resistance 3, and then the last two shows for our last 2 days of work, we're gonna do a Monday show and then a special Tuesday show. But for the following week, we'll be playing a bunch of the Super Star Wars games on Super Nintendo.
Nice.
In celebration of it being the Last Jedi week. And then we're going to do Player Unknown Battleground on, or PUBG as the kids call it.
Nice.
On
Cool.
Tuesday, the last day we're in the office. So that should be a lot of fun too. Sheep from Poland says, "Can't wait to see you guys suffer." Yeah, you're doing way better with a regular sword. You're just like crushing fools now. Yeah, the ability to dodge back with the regular sword seems useful. Remastered Resistance, gonna play Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Yes, I have a copy coming. That might actually be a game I play over the break quite a bit. I never really got into the first one, so I'm looking forward to trying the second one. Everyone says it's so good. The Switch seems like it's a good deal.
Boom.
We give you the weapon of choice, and you just like eradicated those fools.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, stop using your dumb long staff.
Yeah.
That's like a baby weapon. Use a sword so you can dodge.
Okay, escort him. Come on, man. Let's go.
There he goes. There he goes. We're going to try to finish this mission and wrap it up. So if you guys have any last questions in the chat, let us know. Davidson031, thank you for the follow. By clicking that follow button, you'll know when we have shows. We got 5 more episodes left this year. Yeah, it's going to be great. The special with the sword is much better.
Oh, what?
You didn't die, you didn't die. You do have a special though, so.
Yeah, I tried using it. And
There it is. Oh. Oh, but now you got big sword dude. Insomniac V3 says just use the Rhino, duh. Is this the first Assassin's Creed where you have a shield? I think so.
I can't think of any other one where we did. Oh.
I mean, it's such a big part of the combat in this game.
I gotta get through all these guys. Oh, shit.
Oh, and your buddy's down?
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Come on. Ah. All right.
One
I was
last try.
not able to make it.
All right, guys, one last try. Then we're going to wrap it up, mainly because I have to go catch a flight.
Where are you headed?
Heading back home to Nebraska. My dad's being promoted to general tomorrow.
Oh, wow. Holy cow.
So that should be cool.
That is cool.
Yeah. But I was just there last weekend for Thanksgiving. So the
Turn
timing
around.
on this was not great.
Right.
In terms of like, I would like to have the family thing like a few weeks earlier so I could come. My sister did this too a couple years ago. She got married like a week before Christmas, and I was just like, wait, but no, but like I don't want to be there for like 8 days.
Right.
But okay, one down. What happened to all the second chance things you get?
Yeah, it's pretty unforgiving.
Climb.
There you go.
Climb.
Except I think they're gonna pull out their bows.
That's fine. They can pull their bows out. Pull your bows out. It's cool. Oh, I thought I shield broke him. All right, one more try.
How old is Ratchet? I have no idea.
He's like, oh god, I want to say he's like 16 or 17 in the first game. I always get confused because his age changes in the later. Like he's like a little bit older. Time is supposed to have elapsed a little bit. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. All right, one more try. I'm probably gonna fail, but I want one last chance at that guy. I really want to try and use it's the guy with the shield. I want to use the special on. I think I can get past it if I use the special on the guy with the shield. That's always the worst. I also haven't been forced into too much bad combat. Oh, I see. I got him off his shield. Oh man, you really do have to counter.
Yeah. Bayek guy, or no, you're Bayek. The other guy.
All right, I'm done.
Quick.
We're done. We're dying a lot. We're hopefully no one watched that part because that was embarrassing.
Sure.
So thanks, Remaster Resistance. I'm sure he could give me lots of tips if there was a such thing as Resistance 4. I appreciate your tenacity about Resistance. We love your passion. So thanks for watching, everybody. Jeff, thanks for coming on.
Thank
Hope
you.
had a fun
Thanks for having
time.
me. Yeah, this was great.
Yeah, we'll have you back again soon.
Cool.
And we've got, like I said, 5 great shows coming up the rest of this year. So make sure you click the follow button here on Twitch. We'll have 3 good shows next week. You guys will be in the glorious hands of Corey Hoover as they play some Rocket League, which should be fun. And we've got some hopefully good. We have people that listed Rocket League as a favorite game, so hopefully they're good at it when they come in here and play it.
Awesome.
And we don't look embarrassed at it. So that's 2 p.m. Pacific on Monday. And then we've got the Howlin' Rays Challenge, where you can watch a bunch of us suffer next Wednesday, which is going to be fun. In the meantime, you can always follow us all over social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Insomniac Games on all of those channels if you want the latest on that stuff. And any final words, thoughts?
Not for me, no.
All right,
I'm
cool.
good.
Check out Assassin's Creed Origins. It's from Ubisoft and Ubisoft Montreal. I've really been enjoying it. Jeff's been enjoying it. Ted's
Absolutely.
been enjoying it. If you like the previous games, or I think if you like Dark Souls combat, I think you'd probably be into this one. It's not as hard, but it's definitely pretty good. So if you see a good Black Friday sale on it, don't hesitate. It's pretty cool. And Hessa46, thank you for following on Twitch. Definitely appreciate